Hello, hello. I don't know if anybody's here yet. Mike is here. Hooray. I'll wait like a couple minutes just to make sure that, you know, people arrive and stuff. They don't miss out. I'm starting a little earlier today. Because I have the entire day off, so I figured I could start a little earlier. I may even go a little later today. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I'm advertising it everywhere, of course. Always fun. This was a good starting time, I think. I might move it up to 8 o'clock. I literally just finished. What were you watching? That was like an hour and 40 minutes or something. I'm gonna post on Instagram. Cause that'll be fun. I forgot. I gotta take a picture. Oh, not what I wanted. I wanted the camera. Hope that's a good picture. No, it's kind of stupid. Here. Let's make a new one. Oh, video game oh right, you watch that video game wrestling show all the time. You always send me the ones with like the anime characters that I like in them, right? Is that the same one? I don't really post on Instagram anymore. Yeah. You guys are like, same one. I'm posting it on Instagram. Posted. Alright, well, it's been 6 minutes. I think we should start. I don't know where Kin is. Usually she's here by now, but that's fine. occur. All right. So, let me fix this real quick. Here we are in the data center. I'll do my little recap. Since Kin didn't really catch on to the later half of the stream. So, as from last stream, we know that we explored the 5th and final floor of the school. We discovered that a mass murder happened in one of the classrooms up on the 5th floor, but we don't know any details of that. Though we assume that the tragedy that was mentioned earlier, that was the tragedy. Whether or not that is, we don't know yet. Makoto was attacked in his sleep, and the knife that Toko found and Makoto was keeping safe in his room was now stolen. And now we're investigating the murder of the supposed mastermind, because she or he or it, we don't know, they were found in the garden, just stabbed in the stomach. And so but they also found the data center key. So here we are in the data center, and this is where we left off. We are now searching the data center. So, wait, what? Yeah, you kind of missed out on a few things at the end there, Kin. Yeah, so apparently the mastermind, or someone we assume is the mastermind, because it's clearly not Kirigiri, but it's clearly not anyone else. So we don't know who died. And obviously, yeah, the evil luchador is Dai. That's what Mike said, yes. And so I have absolutely no idea. Well, I do, but I know exactly who it is, but the point is, Togami thinks that maybe Kirigiri did it, but we don't know. That's why we're trying to figure it out. So, we've got some computers to look at. There's a bunch of computers all lined up. They all look like high-performance PCs, nothing like the ancient laptop Alter Ego was installed on. They're all on, but they seem to be locked. So, what? We can't do anything? Just use your fighting spirit to force your way in. What century are you from? The mastermind must have been using these to monitor the network and Alter Ego. You may well be right about that.
What?
But there's no point in thinking about it now. You're right. What else can we look at? There's like a big screen here. There's nothing showing up on this one. Hey, look next to that TV. Is that a TV antenna? That's the weirdest shaped TV antenna I've ever seen, but then again, this is Japan. They have weird shaped things all the time.
How about that?
It is. It's just like the one my grandma uses. It's totally one of those high-def antennas. Wait, so if we hook up that antenna, we could watch TV? Huh? Did someone say TV?
You know?
Well, Saturday morning Hina's here. Are you talking about me?
Okay.
Anyway, if we can watch TV, let's do it. Come on.
You know?
You're all starved for info from the outside world, huh? Alright, let me work my magic and you'll be quantum leaping your way to TV land before you know it. I mean, I get the reference, but what's he talking about? How do you get the reference and then not know what he's talking about? I don't know. What the hell? Alright, let's look at these screens. There's a ridiculous number of monitors here. And the Mastermind's been using them all to spy on us. I mean, why do you think there were so many security cameras around the school? As long as I have this. Huh? Look at Master Go, it's like a feast for the eyes. How much is a monthly membership? Alrighty then, that's fucking weird, but alright. We got another security camera. No matter when, no matter where, the surveillance cameras are following our every move. I mean, they're absolutely everywhere. How many cameras does this place have anyway? See, here's my gripe. Now I know because I've played the game. Like, I played the game to completion before, and I know what happens in the end. But coming from like a first-timer's, why is there a camera in the data center if obviously no one was supposed to go into the data center? You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. It's weird, but if you're watching us, why do you need to watch yourself? Or it could be just for security matters, I guess. Like, if somebody did break in, you could see it, you could go back and watch the archives and clearly tell who did it, right? So she does need some time alone. I think she just needs to, like, relax. Alright, what else? We can just talk to everybody, and then we can go into this door. Or should we go into the door first? I don't know. Let's talk to people. Okay, I have the exact same reaction as Naegi there. I don't want to know. Let's talk to him. Geez, I can't believe how many monitors there are. My eyes are flickering as fast as they are. Alright, what about Yasuhiro? What's he got to say? So, you think you can fix the TV?
You know?
Just a little longer. What, you really want to watch TV that bad? Another Saturday morning kid here. And why was the Mastermind murdered? To figure that out, we need to find out the identity and purpose of the Mastermind. Alright, well, the only thing left in here is the door, so this door is kind of creepy. It's got a picture of Monokuma on it. What could be inside? Don't know, it's locked. Shit's locked. The door's locked, huh? What if you use that key that opened this room? Let's give it a try, just in case. Nope. Nope. Nope, no good. It won't even fit in the keyhole. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. The Mastermind's dead, right? So nothing's gonna happen to us. Yeah, I guess you're right. I can't stop thinking about that door with Monokuma's picture on it, though. But worrying about it isn't gonna do me any good. Hina's right, the Mastermind's gone, so there's nothing to be afraid of anymore.
You know? Huh?
Oh! Oh. What's wrong?
Hmm.
Good news for you all, you Saturday morning kiddies out there. I think I got the TV working. Really? Now all we gotta do is switch it on.
What?
Then do it. Freaking idiot Mastermind. Oh, you guys need to cut free of your regrets from the outside world.
What the heck?
And they were sitting here watching the TV the whole time. They really thought they could get away with it. Alright.
Huh?
Well, there's the reason why that security camera's there, I guess. Huh? This is... It's the feed coming from the surveillance camera monitoring this room, isn't it?
What the heck?
That's weird. Huh. Yeah, that is weird.
Come on.
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
That's really weird. You're weird. Weird in every way possible, and not just weird, super weird. But this TV isn't hooked up to anything but the antenna. So how is it showing the camera feed?
Well...
Did you try changing the channel?
Um...
Oh, good idea. Let's give that a try. Here, I went through each channel one by one. But on every channel, it was just us. It was like a live feed of us standing there in the data center.
What the heck?
What the... Is it broken or something?
Could it be...
No, there must be some kind of trick to it. Some weird setup. A trick? What kind of trick? What the... He just... No announcement, nothing. He's just there.
Actually...
I'm not sure, but... Huh? Huh?
Huh?
What?
Huh?
What?
What?
It's been a while, you friggin' bastards! Monokuma? How you're supposed to be dead? Me? Dead? Don't be freaking stupid.
What?
Hey, you're acting kinda strange. Something seems different.
Of course!
Of course I'm different. Evolution is perfectly natural. After all, I've been hibernating for 2 years already. Not even. It's been like half a day at most. How are you alive again? Oh yeah, that's it. The look on your faces right now is sublime. That's what I wanted to see, the moment when you went from hope to despair. Don't tell me you pretended to be dead all for this moment. Why would a bear pretend to be dead? You're the ones who should pretend to be dead when you see a bear. I mean, that's totally laughable. It makes me laugh. I'm gonna laugh now.
Well now.
And that's that!
Shing!
Oh, it's almost time to cut off your past, so full of hope and begin to despair at the future ahead of you. I want you all to have way more fun in this killing game. You can't be serious, we have to keep going. No, we were supposed to get out of here. Get out of here? Are you still obsessed with getting out of here? How do you not get it? There is no getting out of here. And besides,
Yep.
this life isn't all bad, you know? I mean, there's stuff you won't like about life no matter where you are. Are you serious? This place is the worst. If it's the worst, does that mean you're in despair? Oh my god.
Well now.
Phew. I'm pooped from all that laughing. I guess I'll just get to the point now. Kuma's like, I insist that you continue. Do it. The point?
Hey,
Yeah, you guys really struck gold when you found that TV. Yes, indeed, that TV is an essential part of your school life here.
What?
I knew it was hiding a secret of some kind.
What the heck?
But I connected the antennas, so why is it just showing us the surveillance feed? Look at how attentive they are now. Well then, I'm gonna let you on a blood-gushing secret and tell you all about it. That TV is absolutely, without a doubt, displaying the signal coming in from on the antenna.
Huh?
Huh? But what does that mean? It's displaying the signal? But it's just us standing here.
Unbelievable.
You're so stupid. Don't you get it? Fine, I'll just tell you.
Thrills,
This
chills,
killing game is
kills.
being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. What?
Extreme!
This killing game is being broadcast live to the entire world. It's the most popular thing on TV. It's very true. I hate to break this to you, but this is true. I mean, even if I understood the words, I'm not sure I understand the deeper meaning. Broadcast live to the entire world? What kind of bad joke is this?
That's...
Even Tagami is like, what the fuck? It can't be. Have they taken over the airwaves somehow?
Oh,
The camera feed is being broadcast? No way, that's impossible. That kind of overconfidence is a major weakness in your crisis management system, you know that? Imagine all the embarrassing private stuff that gets broadcast now. Like that whole scene of Asahina in her fucking underpants. That was broadcast to the entire fucking world. Like... all you need is one weird trick that I found, and hijacking the airwaves is easy mode. Are you being serious right now?
Of course.
Of course. I heard a kind of creaking, but the sound was coming from my own mind. Like a boat tossing in the ocean, my mind had begun to creak and groan.
Hey,
Everything has meaning, you know. All those hints I gave you, all those tantalizing tidbits about the school's mysteries, even me luring you here right now. Why would I do any of that without a reason? It was all for my captive audience, to show them true despair like they'd never seen it before. I became the director of a despair-based production. This is the ultimate reality show, the best in despair entertainment.
What are you saying?
You're lying. If this was on TV, the police and everyone else would be going crazy. Yeah, there's no way they wouldn't have tried to come and rescue us.
Actually...
What if they already did? Huh?
Yes, indeed.
But then again, it's not really any of their business, right? Sure, some people might yell at their TV to try and warn you, but who would actually come here to help? Don't you think that's possible? I don't really know personally, though. So whatever.
This can't be.
But to take control of all communications like that, you'd need an astronomical amount of resources. Yep. So how could things have come this far? Well, that's a secret. There's something you all need to do first, remember? What?
Of course.
Yeah, duh. There's the little business of...
A body has been discovered.
Oh.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
We're gonna have a class trial for this. There's literally no evidence to this, though. Huh? A class trial? Oh, fuck.
It's the Monokuma
I'll leave the next Monokuma file right here. Everyone give it all you got, okay?
Heart-pounding excitement.
Okay, things are gonna get pretty crazy from here on out. You're in for a heck of a ride.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Here we go! Investigation time! Alright, reality was incomprehensible, the truth hopelessly out of reach. And all we were left with was despair. We stood there for I don't know how long, frozen in place. I couldn't think. It took everything I had just to keep myself standing upright. I don't understand any of this. What's despair entertainment and how is he still alive?
I'm sick of
I
this.
thought that finally we could get out of here. And plus, what did he say about a class trial?
Stop talking.
Well, that part's obvious. The class trial is the class trial. What it means is that at this point, we have to figure out who the culprit is. Figure out who killed Kyoko. Oh, so Tagami thinks it's Kyoko. What?
What the heck?
What are you talking about? I thought Mukuro Ikusaba was the one who died. The victim was female, right? Kyoko certainly fulfills that condition. And if Monokuma is still alive and active, that means that the mastermind, Mukuro Ikusaba, isn't dead. So naturally, that body can't belong to her, so it must be Kyoko. There's no other possibility. He's got a point there. Right? Kyoko's been murdered? No, that's not possible. Because I don't know anything about her yet. I don't even know who she is. I mean, you've already had... This is the worst time for this. You've already had one girlfriend be murdered on you. What's two? You know? I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it. Whether you believe it or not doesn't matter. The truth is the truth. If you refuse to believe, it's your responsibility to uncover the truth for yourself. Myself? Anyway, we'd better begin.
But
But if we're gonna have a class trial, then that means the killer...
That's right.
Correct. It must be someone participating in our school life. Wait, so you're saying one of us killed Kyoko? Well, that's not precisely what I'm saying. No.
Huh?
Huh? But you just said...
Stop talking.
I don't have time to explain now. There is a variable mountain of issues I need to confirm. So I'm going to begin my search. If you value your lives, you'll put everything you have into this. That is how this game works, after all. It's investigation time. Oh, see you, Ken. Oh, I'm so sorry. Alright. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. Have a good night, Ken. That's okay. You can always catch it on YouTube later. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. It's all good. No worries. You don't have to apologize. Alright, they had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. So even the Monokuma file doesn't tell us who the victim actually was. The unidentified body, could it really be Kyoko? Or... I have no choice, I have to investigate. I have to uncover the truth for myself. No matter what, I have to find out what happened or we're all dead. I need to get back to the scene of the crime and back to the garden. Alright, we got that one. And we're ready to go. Here we are at the scene of the crime again. Alright. Okay, time to get started. I need to check anywhere that may be important, from one end to the other. I just need to do what I always do. Alrighty. There's a knife laying on the ground. Is this... It must be the knife that was stuck in the body before it exploded. The force of the explosion must have thrown it over here. Alright, so it looks very familiar. It's the same knife, basically. We can kind of just assume that. Oh! We get this flashback again. That's it! It's the knife that the person was holding. This is getting really weird. There are just too many strange coincidences. Whoever the person in the mask that was that attacked me last night, they were holding that knife. And that's the same knife that was used to stab the same masked attacker we found here. So maybe this masked person got stabbed because when they attacked, I was in kind of a trance. Maybe I reacted by grabbing the knife. And maybe then and if this really is Kyoko, it would mean Kyoko is the one that attacked me. But why the mask? I just don't know. I don't remember anything clearly from last night. No, it can't be. There's no way. Alright. If I check the body more thoroughly, maybe then I'll find it if it's Kyoko or not. Huh? There's something weird about the body's fingernails. Oh, these are fake nails. They're really long. They seem like they get in the way of normal activity. Fake nails have been added to the truth bullets section. There's also something on the back of her right hand. Is this a tattoo? It got burned, so I can't make out the whole thing, but it looks like it's a picture of a dog or something. I've never seen anything like it before. Alright, the white jacket the victim was wearing totally got burnt up. There's only one little piece left. The lower half of the body didn't get wet at all. After the body blew up, the top half got set on fire, so I dumped a bucket of water on it, which explains why the bottom half isn't wet. There's nothing strange about that, right? What else? No? What else can I look at? Yes, up here. The upper half of the body got set on fire in the explosion, so it's totally blackened. Also, the top half of the body is wet. That's because it got set on fire and I threw the water on it. Since I only threw water on the part that was on fire, the top half, the bottom half is still dry. In other words, there's nothing strange about the top half being wet. There isn't, right? Alrighty, I think yeah, we've searched all of this, so yeah. Let's look at the top half of the body now. No? No. These look like fragments of something. They're all burnt, so I can't really be sure, but I feel like I've seen something like it before. But where? Wait, was it there? I'll have to double check that later. Alright. That's interesting. I don't know what he's talking about, but... I remember there were chickens in the chicken coop. I count 4 chickens. Huh. 4.
Yo!
What's going on, Makoto? Oh, I'm glad you're here. Listen, do you remember how many chickens there were in here? Of course, there were precisely 5. The mystery thickens. Yeah, right?
Huh?
What's wrong? There's only 4 chickens here now. Or 1 short. Huh? That's so weird. I wonder when it disappeared.
But...
I was down here just before nighttime last night, and there were definitely 5 chickens then. What are we gonna do? Going from 5 to 4 is gonna have an impact on the structure of the world.
Conspiracy!
It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Even if a single piece disappears, the entire world will remain unfinished. Alrighty then. Why did one of the chickens disappear? The Monokuma flower, huh? Is it true? Does it really eat paper, plastic, and people? Anyway, I don't think it's related to the case, so I think I'll just stay away. Monokuma. Maybe Hina has something. Listen, Makoto. Do you remember how the body looked, you know, before it blew up? If I remember right, it was wearing some kind of mask and a big white coat. There was also a knife sticking out of the stomach, and the area around it was stained with blood. Apparently the wound had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still on the body was still wet. Tagami said that not to touch it to avoid getting all bloody. But for how much blood there was on the body, I didn't see any on the ground around it. Okay. Wow, thanks. That's a big help. Now that you explained it, I totally remember how it looked. Well, having to talk about it like that helped me remember it a lot better too. So thank you, too. Okay, so body before the explosion. Let's talk to Toko. Maybe she has... So, who does that body belong to? Whoever it is, I'm not gonna look. I don't want to faint anymore. Alright, well, you have nothing to say. Let's head into the shed. Maybe there's something in the shed that... Just to be sure, I should take a look at the tool shed. This room is dusty and disorganized. In other words, a pretty stereotypical tool shed. Is this a tarp? Wait, was there a tarp in here before? I should probably look into it. It could be related to the case. Well, let's look at it. The top is wet and covered with mud and grime, But the underside is totally clean and completely dry. One side of that tarp is wet and dirty. Something about that bothers me. Alright, the tarp has been added. Alright. Anything else in here that we might, you know... There's something carved into the handle of this pickaxe. Crazy diamonds, same thing that was written on Mondo's coat. Not part of it. I don't think we need anything else in here. So. Let's talk to our other... Good timing, Makoto. I wanted to talk to you. What do you want to talk about?
So, in other words...
I'd like to hear your alibi. Alibi?
In other words...
Correct. I'd like to hear where you were after nighttime began last night. Well, I was sick, so I was asleep all night. But why are you asking about that now? And what's nighttime got to do with it?
Naturally.
Isn't it obvious this murder took place after nighttime? How can you know that for sure? Because just after nighttime began, I came into the garden. I was going around looking for everyone so I could tell them about Monokuma. Hiro's been spending most of his time up in the garden the last few days, so I figured he'd be here. And I can confirm that when I arrived last night, there was no body here.
In other words...
So the murder could only have taken place at some point during nighttime after I left the garden. However, Toko, Hiro, Hina, and I were in the gym together the entire night last night. What? Once I found Hiro in the garden, we immediately went to Toko and Hina's rooms to get them. At that point, we all went to the gym and began dismantling Monokuma. As a precaution, we made sure not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. In other words, all four of us have airtight alibis. The only ones who don't have alibis are me and Kyoko.
That's right.
If the victim really is Kyoko, then I'm the only one without an alibi. Also, when we went to go get Hina and Toko, we stopped by your room as well.
What?
But you never came to the door, so where precisely were you? I'm telling the truth, I was in my room, but I was dead asleep. I had a fever, so... That's hardly an alibi. I know. So, what now? You seem to be at quite a disadvantage here. Well, that's really bad, isn't it? Alright, so... Oh, fuck. Here we go. Alright. Last person is Yasuhiro. It's 11 o'clock right now. Okay, and...
We're serious.
Oh, well, I was just thinking about when we first found the body. When the body was found, huh? I should look back at what I did this morning to help me remember when that was. Monokuma's announcement woke me up at 7 o'clock, as usual, and I headed for the dining hall pretty soon. Once I got there, I met up with Hina. That was right around 7:30. Then I headed to the gym, where everyone else was waiting. Next, Toko went to go get the pickaxe, and that's when she found the body. What time was it then? Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. That's right, it had to have been right around 9 o'clock.
You know?
Ah, now that you mention it, I think you're right. So I think we can say for sure that the body was found at 9 a.m. Okay, my job's done. That's a pretty small job! Alright. I have no idea what to do now. We really have nothing else to go off of. I mean, this... I can't recognize that. I really can't. Somewhere else. Okay. I don't think I've seen everything there is to see. So what haven't you seen? What am I missing here? Maybe it's in the chicken coop? No. I don't think so. Maybe it is in the tool shed. I don't know, maybe I missed something in the tool shed. Lawnmower. Top is wet, covered in mud, totally clean. Tools, nothing to do with the case. I have no idea, man. Nothing to do with the case. Okay, let's get the hell out of here, I guess.
What the heck?
Oh, this is what we forgot. This is the panel that controls the sprinklers. They're set to turn on at 7:30 every morning, and Monokuma said the time positively could not be changed. Huh, hold on. So the sprinklers turn on at 7:30 each morning, right? Then, if the body was here before then, the sprinklers should have gotten it wet. Which would mean the murder must have taken place. Ah, so there's your alibi there, Naegi. I think I've checked everything I need to in this area. But I'm not done yet. There are other areas I need to check. Specifically, that fragment I found before. There's somewhere I need to go in order to confirm my suspicions. And I still need to find out more about Kyoko. Is that corpse really Kyoko? If that's true. Was that also Kyoko who attacked me last night? If I can find out more about her, maybe I can answer that question. Kyoko was never the kind of person to talk about herself all that much. Maybe if I can get into her room, I'll be able to find out more. But the key to her room...
It's all clear now.
Ah, so...
What?
Dami has the key, so we gotta ask him. I don't have a choice. I'll have to see if he'll let me borrow her room key. Hey, Byakuya? If you do come up with an alibi, I'd happy to hear it later at the class trial. Oh no, it's not about that. You have the key to Kyoko's room, right? I was hoping I could borrow it. Oh. My bill for my phone. He texted me. I'm afraid I can't take that risk. You're the prime suspect after all.
What?
Of course, if I were to go with you, that would be a different story. Then will you go with me? So I have my own agenda to take care of. Find me again later and we'll see.
Goodbye.
Depending on my mood, I may go with you, or I may not. Come back later, huh? Okay. Then in the meantime, I should look around somewhere else. Maybe I should check out that one area. I don't even know what the hell that area is that he means. I'm thinking it's the secret. I think it's the secret. Oh, okay, it wants the gym. Okay. Let's go to the gym. Monokuma's laying dismantled on the floor, but I figured it wouldn't be here.
You know?
Ah! That's where I recognize the part. I just found something. What is it? It's what? A bomb. Alright, so... And that bomb went missing. There's no doubt about that. The fragments I found in the garden are of that bomb. Okay, I've checked everything else I can think of. All left now is Kyoko's room. Should head back to the garden and ask Byakuya. Alright, let's go. Let's fast travel there. If we can. This investigation is very short. It was part of the bomb, right? I was like, I don't know. I was like, I couldn't recognize it at all. But then I'm like, oh yeah, the bomb.
Let's go.
Alright, let's go. We're going to Kyoko's room. We're having a date. Alright, let's head the heck forward. And swoop! Right into her room. Oh. Well then, here we go. We took out the key and opened it. Looks like it, thanks. Let's get the heck in there. So this is Kyoko's room. It's very fucking plain. There's something on the table. It's a wooden block decoration.
What?
What's that? What purpose does it serve? I think it's probably a key. The lockers at those really traditional public bathhouses use them for their lockers. I wouldn't know. I've never been to a public bathhouse. That doesn't really surprise me. It's hard to picture him doing something like that.
It's certainly possible.
But if it is a key, I think I might know what it unlocks. Really? What? Unless I'm mistaken. I'm pretty sure I saw something in the dojo that this might go to. Dojo? Alright. What else can we look at? Here's her bed. I don't see anything of interest here, at least not as far as the case is concerned. There's the security camera. There's that. There's a door. She might have certain articles hanging out to dry. I'd better not look inside. He's... Hey, Byakuya, can you unlock my girlfriend's room for me? I know that sounds like I'm a major cuck, but...
What?
You wanted to come here, right? So what is it you're looking for? Nothing in particular. I just thought we might need some kind of clue here. A clue that might help us understand Kyoko.
Come on.
You can't be serious. That's why you made me take time out of my search to come here? Sorry. Regardless, if you plan on poking around at random, you're doomed no matter how much time you take. Surely you have something more concrete, something to give us some sort of direction here. More concrete. Oh, I know. Earlier, Kyoko gave me something. Huh? What's this?
It's true.
Consider it a symbol of my determination. Don't open it yet. Only open it if something ever happens to me. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Found it! What's in the envelope? Kyoko gave it to me. She said if something ever happened, I should open it. Well, something has certainly happened, so open it. Okay. I opened the envelope and looked inside. Inside was a single piece of paper. Under the sheets.
What?
That's all that was in there? Yeah, looks like it. Under the sheets, what could it be? The bed? But could something be hidden under the bed sheets? Part of me didn't expect to find anything, but as soon as I lifted up the sheets... What's this? I found a crumpled up piece of paper. Oh! Class 78 Student Registry. Mukuro Ikusaba.
I see.
It appears to be Mukuro Ikusaba's profile. Yeah, looks like it. That's probably the other thing Kyoko stole when she snuck into the headmaster's room, along with the key. God, you're so annoying. Fine, I'll tell you. It was a key and blank. That's it. Must be the blank that Monokuma was talking about. Kyoko said death without meaning was unappealing, and this is what she left behind. I don't have time for your sentimental indulgences. Hurry up and finish your search. Okay. made an effort to pull myself together, then looked down at the profile sheet. Name, Mukuro Ikusaba. Sex, female. The ultimate soldier. Ooh. Although small for her age, she was a military specialist trained in every weapon type imaginable. She showed an interest in the military from childhood and soon found herself completely absorbed in it. In elementary school, she won a survival game tournament and began writing for military magazines. Just before entering middle school, while she and her family were on vacation in Europe, she disappeared. The story of a young Japanese girl being kidnapped quickly took over Japanese media outlets. An intense international investigation turned up no information, and she was never found. However, she reappeared in Japan 3 years later, alone and completely unannounced. She revealed that she had joined the mercenary group known as Fenrir for those 3 years. She insisted that she hadn't been kidnapped, and that she had received battle training of her own volition. However, she never revealed why she decided to return home when she did. Alright, that is some very deep shit. Very. The ultimate soldier? A mercenary group? This doesn't feel real. The world I grew up in, it's like a completely different dimension. It's like one of Ian's non-fiction and the other sci-fi. There's no way to even compare the two. That's how different this is. Mukuro has been doing some stuff. Shh! It's secret. It's classified. That was how I saw things. As just an ordinary person, but then...
I see.
I never imagined I would hear the name Fenrir in a place like this. What, you recognize it?
Naturally.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps are a collection of battle-crazed warmongers. But they do have their uses, and they always get the job done. That's worth remembering. This is all part of a world totally removed from the one I live in. I have to say, I'm intrigued. Every rumor I've heard says that Fenrir has already...
Found it!
Whoa! I feel like our hero is becoming a bit player, and a bit player is becoming our hero! It's you!
What?
What have you got in your pretty little hand there? Uh-oh, you found her profile? So what if we did?
Hey!
Don't freak out on me. I'm not gonna hold it
now.
against you or anything. And in case you're wondering, I don't hold it against Kyoko either, even though she stole it and hid it. After all, there's no rule against stealing, is there? But who I can't forgive is Miss Ugami, who broke the rules and busted into the headmaster's room. Maybe I'll drag her corpse out here and slice it up and devour it. Bears are omnivores, after all.
What?
Are rule violations really so unforgivable? You're quite adamant about those regulations of yours. Of course I am. A proper school life is built on the dedication to organization and order. Which is why even I, as the school headmaster, have to follow the regulations myself. Oh, so you're saying you have to follow your own rules as well?
Of course!
Absolutely. I can't have you complaining about how unfair it all is. Now, can I? In fact, on the subject of fairness, would you like to know something interesting? Interesting? It's about the one writing all the rules. They're actually one of the participants in this killing game. I don't think I ever actually told you how many participants there actually were, did I? I was thinking I should probably clarify that.
Hey,
When you all first got together in the main hallway, back when there were 15 people there, right? I think that first meeting may have led you to a little misunderstanding among you all. A misunderstanding? Are you saying...
in other words...
That's right. There weren't actually 15 of you.
Yes, indeed!
The total number of students taking part in this killing game was actually 16. 16? Then...
Mukuro Ikusaba,
Ooh.
the 16th student, lying hidden somewhere in this school.
So it could possibly have been Mukuro.
The one
We
they
don't know.
call the ultimate despair.
I mean, I know, but...
Watch out for her.
The 16th student, Mukuro Ikusaba, she's part of the school life. So the one making all the regulations is... Why?
Huh?
Did you say something? Why are you telling us this? Oh, well, because, like I told you, this killing game is desperately popular. You wouldn't believe the ratings. And since we've got so many viewers now, I wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same page. I don't want to wake up to a hurricane of complaints and hate mail, you know?
Yes, indeed.
Make sense?
Well now.
Okay, that's all you get for now. Oh, actually, I do have some revenge to get, so I have an extra bonus for you. Revenge? I want to get back at that sneaky Miss Kirigiri, so I'm going to share a little secret with you. Seriously?
Hey.
You know how she wears those stupid gloves day in and day out all the time? Well, don't tell anyone I told you, but she wears them to cover a bunch of hideous scars that she doesn't want anyone to see. What? Okay, now that's all you get. Alright. I mean... Kyoko wears those gloves to cover up a bunch of scars? Wait, so on the back of her hand? The tattoo? Wait, but no. Monokuma specifically said they were scars, right? And that's why Kyoko wears those gloves to hide the scars. Which means... those fake nails on the corpse. Are you thinking about Kyoko again? Huh?
What?
Forget about her. What matters right now is uncovering Monokuma's trap. His trap?
Such ignorance.
God must have really hated you to make you so dull. Wow, thanks. Just fucking insult my intelligence there, bud. Don't you remember what Monokuma just told us? He said there were 16 students, right? Which means Mukuro was a student here.
That's right.
Obviously, Monokuma was trying to tell us that Mukuro is the one creating the rules to the game. But why would he tell us that, and why now? He said that he wanted to make things clear so there wouldn't be any complaints later. But the mere fact that he said that proves that Mukuro is connected to this case. That's why Monokuma revealed the existence of a 16th student. He needs to make our investigation fair. Mukuro is related to the case?
It's certainly possible.
Perhaps she's the one who killed Kyoko. What? That would explain why we would have to have a class trial, wouldn't it? If she's a student and she killed someone, that would make her part of the school killing game. Ah, she killed Kyoko. Anyone should be able to come to that conclusion, don't you think? In fact, that's exactly what I thought when the investigation first began. No, you fucking didn't! You thought it was fucking Makoto! You're like, you're the only one without an alibi, so it's obviously you. Like, bruh? You flip-flop way too much, boy.
What?
What? But, based on what Monokuma just told us, I've changed my mind.
It's all clear now.
Mukuro Ikusawa isn't the culprit. Huh? What makes you say that? What? We thought Mukuro, the ultimate despair, was the Mastermind's true identity. But if that's true, Monokuma's behavior makes no sense. Why would the Mastermind go out of their way to reveal themselves to us? That's a good point.
So, in other words...
Mukuro giving us information that would raise questions about her would be bold, to say the least. It makes more sense, then, to assume that Mukuro isn't the culprit. So that's the trap. They want to suspect Mukuro and come to the wrong conclusion. That's what makes sense to me. The way you say it, it definitely does seem possible, but if that's really true... If Mukuro isn't the killer, then who is? Well then, I believe our work here is finished. Let's move on. I'm sure there are other places in need of an investigation. We should find out if that key and the dojo really are connected.
Let's go.
Well, are you coming? Yep. There are wooden lockers here. They use woodblock keys just like at those super traditional public bathhouses. It looks like the key we found in Kyoko's room really does go to one of these lockers.
I see.
Makoto, do you see the locker farthest to the right?
Very strange.
That's the only one that doesn't have a key in it. You understand what this means, right? I should probably use the key we found on that locker, right?
That's right.
Well, just try it. Okay. I took out the woodblock key and inserted it into the locker's metal lock and click. The locker eagerly accepted the key and it opened. There are arrows in here. It looks like 10 arrows in total. They look like they're made out of titanium, which means they're quite strong, despite how thin they are. Of course, without a bow, they're nothing but strong little sticks. Strong 6. Alrighty. Oh, there's something else inside the locker. It's a wadded up ball of duct tape. I wonder what this was used for. Is that a blood stain?
I see.
If it is, that means it must surely be related to the case. This duct tape is related to the case somehow? But how could it possibly be involved? Interesting. Alright. I think that's all the locker has to offer for now. Is something wrong?
Very strange.
It's very odd, don't you think? The locker was hiding items that were clearly related to the case. But how did the key to the locker wind up in the victim's room? The duct tape is the killer.
Why?
It's the duct tape! It did it! Or perhaps... Forget it. Come on, we need to continue on to the next location. Huh? What next location?
What?
There's still something we need to look into. We need to do more research on Fenrir. Fenrir? You mean the mercenary group? But how are we supposed to find out about that? Isn't it obvious? Where in the school would you go to do research on something? Research. Are you talking about the archive? That's right. The archives have all kinds of info that the general public doesn't have access to.
Let's go.
We only have so much time before the trial begins. Let's hurry. Here we go. We're in the archives. I believe there was a file related to Fenrir somewhere over here. The Accio seemed to know the archive like the back of its hand and went straight to a shelf in the back. Here we go. Quickly returned with a file in hand. Okay, let's talk.
I see.
Take a look at this. I have no idea what it says. What language is this? How did you make it all the way to high school without learning a single word of French? He lives in fucking Japan! They learn Japanese and English, and I'm assuming if you want to take French, you have to do extra classes or outside classes. I don't know. I don't live in Japan, but that just seems like an obvious thing. There, rich boy. I'm pretty sure most high schoolers can't speak French. Well, whatever. I'll read it for you, but I expect you to repay your debt 100 times over. 100 times? Isn't that kind of extreme? Okay. Fenrir is an elite fighting unit based out of the Middle East. The Middle East? Unlike military contractors, they are a fierce group of soldiers who engage in direct combat. They claim that a single member is equivalent to an entire company of regular soldiers. Just like Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok, their mere presence is enough to strike fear into any enemy. They have been involved in countless military battles and operations, most of which are highly classified. However, some time ago, they completely ceased all activity. At present, their continued existence cannot be confirmed. There are unconfirmed reports that the key members of the group were all neutralized, aka murdered. Rumors indicate that they were killed to keep them from revealing the many state secrets they'd acquired. Some, however, believe that there was mounting internal tension within the group, and they simply imploded. It's like asking a student from Belgium how they don't speak one of the multiple languages used. The problem here, Mike, is that people in Belgium are required to learn at least 5 different languages because of it. And I know this because my parents went to Belgium. Same with Amsterdam. They're like required to learn 5 languages, otherwise they can't graduate high school. And that's because those countries are so high in tourism that they actually... I don't know if it is like that now, but back when my parents went to them, that was like required. You need to learn like at least 5 different languages by the end of high school.
What?
What is it? This all just sounds like some kind of alternate reality. Well, it isn't. This is our reality, the only reality. These people are part of our world. Their battlefields aren't much different from our lives here, an unpredictable, unimaginable world. That's what makes it all so exciting. Exciting? Definitely isn't the word I would use. Wild. So did anything jump out at you? This may be your last opportunity about Fenrir. Now that you mentioned it, the report said something about where the name Fenrir comes from, right? That's right, it said Fenrir. Fenrir is the wolf of Ragnarok. Speaking of which, would you like to know something interesting related to that? To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body. What? They got a tattoo of Fenrir? Could that mean... Ooh... I don't know if it's still like that in Amsterdam and Belgium and like other European places, but like when my mom and dad used to visit them a lot in like the 80s before I was born, that's basically like what the like tourist guides would tell them was like, yeah, we're expected to learn like 5 different languages in order to get a job because they're so high in tourism. Like their tourism is their main economy. So like it just makes sense that in order to get a job, you should know at least 2 or 3 languages so that you could interact with people. I don't know.
Time is utterly silent, and yet it constantly assaults us organisms, the earth, natural phenomena. It damages us little by little until the end. You should really think about that. Anyway, it's time to begin the class trial!
All right.
Please meet up in the
I guess
usual
we're doing a
spot.
class trial today,
See you later!
considering it's only been an hour. And then the time has come. All we can do now is try to uncover the truth during the class trial.
That's right.
It would seem that way. Let's go. All right. Let's just do it. Let's get to it. Whoa! Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together? Just the 2 of you? What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Or are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined what was about to happen, I immediately tensed up and prepared myself, but... I stood there for 5 full minutes waiting for something weird to happen. And then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What is going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or... What? Or what? Jesus! Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait? You got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? If we all agree it's a violation, I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When I heard that voice, we all spun around to look.
Hey,
She's alive! She's here! What? Where the fuck has she been? I'm here, and no rules have been broken. Kyoko! Kyoko, you're still alive? No, that's a ghost! Stop talking. If you want to fight, do it at the class trial. You need to save some of the fun for later, right?
What?
But is it okay that there's no particular penalty for being late?
is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right, there's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. No, I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be the one being just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God, I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right, now we gotta deal with a ghost! She shows up at the last possible moment. She's like, what the fuck? I'm here. I told you to stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's just go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Alright. Wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
But...
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. Alright. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
Correct.
I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. The second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course. I also missed his announcement because of that.
Whew.
I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search and came back down, just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I can't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting. But, if you're on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words...
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What? We got another truth bullet at the last fucking possible moment.
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over all the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It would seem...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her? That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, that's all. Alright. Let's head in. Let's do it! The class trial! This is gonna be exciting. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. Wow. Ooh, it was the blinding light of despair. Oh!
I can't wait! I can't wait!
This is gaudy! It just gets worse and worse, the decor just gets worse and worse each time, man. I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed. Let's get on with the show! And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. Alright, I'm not gonna repeat that. That's stupid. Jesus fucking Christ, that room is ugly. It's like someone threw up, like ate a bunch of fucking Skittles and just... Alright, deadly class trial. Yes, let's save. Because knowing my ass, I'd get, you know. Oh, we got new skills too, didn't we? Let's also get that one. I don't think I have any others. Though I could get a whole shitload more. So, but that's good. We're good. Should I go over the truth bullets? I think we should. I usually do for these class trials. Monokuma number 5. Oh, before I start, if we get this trial wrong, we end up with the bad ending. So, and nobody wants the bad ending, especially Hina. So, Monokuma file number 5. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. Alrighty. The explosion has burnt the upper half of the body beyond recognition. The upper half of the body remained on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking wet while the bottom half remained dry. The body was wearing notably long fingernails. The body had a tattoo of a dog on the back of the right hand. There were bits of charred debris near the body. It should be noted that the bomb, which had been removed from Monokuma in the gym, had disappeared. It's hard to imagine these two events aren't unrelated. Or aren't related. Or are. Bleh. Good thing you saved already. The sprinklers are programmed to come on every morning at 7:30, and this time is impossible to change. As such, it can be assumed that if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, it would have gotten wet. 7 a.m. Makoto wakes to the morning announcement. 7:30, Makoto and Hina arrived at the dining hall. 7:30 to 9 a.m. Makoto meets the others in the gym. Together they head to the headmaster's room. 9 a.m. Toko is told to find the pickaxe in the garden, where she discovers the body. Alright. The knife found near the body was the same knife that was used to stab it before the explosion. It is also the same knife that Toko had given to Makoto for safekeeping, and the knife the masked assailant was holding when they attacked Makoto. The tarp was hidden among the other items in the tool shed. One side was wet and filthy with mud and grime. The other side was completely clean and dry. The number of chickens in the chicken coops has decreased from 5 to 4. Yasuhiro claims that there were, without a doubt, 5 chickens just before nighttime last night, and yet Byakuya stated that there was no corpse in the garden just after nighttime last night, so it can be assumed that the murder must have taken place sometime after that. Byakuya also said that Yasuhiro, Toko, and Hina were in the gym the entire night. None of them were alone at any point. The corpse had a mask covering its head and a white jacket covering the body. A knife had been thrust into the abdomen, where there were bloodstains around the wound. The body had stopped bleeding, but the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there was no blood on the ground near the body. Alright. Hell yeah. Mukuro Ikusaba, female, known as the Ultimate Soldier. She became that's a typo. Or that's a grammatical. She became obsessed with the military from a young age. She disappeared while on vacation in Europe and reappeared in Japan 3 years later. Apparently, every member of Fenrir gets a tattoo somewhere on their body to represent their membership in the group. Apparently, the killing game began with 16 participants, all students. It is assumed that Mukuro Ikusaba was the 16th student. Monokuma also revealed that the reason Kyoko wears gloves is to hide something that she doesn't want anyone to see. Alright. This woodblock decoration was found in Kyoko's room. It looks like it's actually the key to one of the lockers in the dojo. A set of titanium arrows were found in a dojo locker. There appear to be 10 in total. Along with the arrows, there was also a wadded up ball of duct tape in the locker. The duct tape had traces of blood on it. It is assumed that it is related to the case, but nobody can imagine how. And finally, we got number 18. Kyoko used Monokuma's secret tool, which grants access to any room in the school, to sneak into the second floor of the dorms. This area seems to have no monitors or security cameras. Alright. So now we know. Now we've been through all of it. Let's go. Let's fucking do it.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trap. If you can figure out, then I'll punish everyone besides. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Alrighty.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Yeah, Suhiro. You're a fucking dumbass. I swear to God.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
That's a ghost!
No, that's a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
What? Ghosts don't have legs?
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Oh, that's funny.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
Her gloves? They do.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
There's no way that corpse was Kyoko. But if I can't prove I, we're gonna be stuck in this case and won't move forward. We gotta argue. We gotta argue. Obviously, it's tattoo on the right hand.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Fake nails. It's fake nails. It's fake nails!
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, that's wrong.
Nope.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
No, they're not.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Thank you, Hina.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
I can't believe we actually have to fucking argue about this.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Thank you. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Alright.
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
I think that's right. I think it's the tattoo that we have to use.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the...
I was right.
No, it's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a
What?
cruel and unusual
For real?
death.
It's like Ryuji was there.
Oh, an unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
Yeah, we want to know.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
No!
Seriously? You really did something that humiliating?
I don't know.
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah? You compare the tattoo to other information.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
That's just the reason you want the tattoo.
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
I hate this fucking game. It's so stupid. It's a fucking wolf. Oh my god, are you kidding me? That was like the easiest shit.
Now I understand.
What the hell? What was the point of that?
Representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
How did Loki and Giant Woman end up giving birth to a dog? I don't want to know, actually. I don't want to know.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed.
How is this gonna work out,
to
though?
solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the Mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a class trial?
How are we gonna have a class trial for the Mastermind?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
I mean,
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
possibly.
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
Not always.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character?
Oh yeah, Loki is a shapeshifter, I forgot.
Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
We don't know.
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost.
Monokuma, you're butting in a little too much, you know? Last trials, you barely said a word. No pun intended. But now you're just popping in whenever the hell you want. This seems suspicious to me.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place.
You're really deflecting here. You really don't want us to talk about the Mastermind. You got something to hide there, Monokuma? You want to tell us something?
Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
No.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
They're the only ones without alibis, really.
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there.
Okay.
So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
It makes sense.
exactly so.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toka, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toka went to get the pickaxe.
All right. Now then, Toko, what time is it? Well, when we left the gym, it was just before 9 o'clock, so it's probably 9 on the dot now. Okay, go get the pickaxe and be back here by 9:01.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Okay. I think I know this one. I think it's sprinklers.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Yeah, it is the sprinklers.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
No?
Shoot!
Okay, what was it then?
We've established a time frame for the murder.
Okay, hold on. Hold on. It's time to bring up the guide, because I'm a dumbass. Because I'm a dumbass. I'm a dumbass. Oh, yeah, go away. I'm like 99% sure I have to either absorb something okay, 10 o'clock at night, sprinklers. Okay, I had the wrong one.
It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, that's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what
All
makes
right.
you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
Why is she like this? Why?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
No?
Man, you're totally wacko.
You really think it wasn't the sprinkler? You'd better tell us why!
Oh, it's one of these. Okay.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. That's enough. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No! I don't know anything. That's enough. Hold on. Are you trying to blame me? I'm right about this. I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? How can you say it?
This should prove it.
Don't know why we need to go
Just
through
remember
that.
what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Alright. Well, it has to be her, because...
I'd just like to say one thing.
Ooh.
If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything.
Okay.
So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Oh. I thought she was our friend. What the fuck?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
The tarp.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick.
Yeah. 'Cause,
You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
ooh. Oh, fuck. We're screwed. Why would she say that? Why does she want... No.
Wait, something's not right.
And what might that be?
Fucking... the blood.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Oh, that's wrong. I was wrong with that. Okay.
Shoot!
Okay, don't worry. We got this. Okay.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
That was the one.
No, that's wrong.
That was the one we needed.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
But then it wouldn't be dirty on the other side.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage? What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
She's got a point!
Someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
It'd be too far.
That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
It's the chickens.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
Chicken blood? Chickens?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
That is messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the
I mean,
killer had to get the blood from the
I
scene
agree with
so
that.
they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
No.
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they've already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred.
True.
They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
Ooh, it's not looking good for Makoto.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Oh, she's got him. Oh, we're fucked.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
We're fucked. We just got a truth bullet in the middle of a fucking trial. All right.
Well then,
Sure.
It looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
No, that's a bad idea. That's a very bad idea. Because if you get it wrong, we're all fucked. If you get it right, we're fucked.
Oh!
We're fucked either way.
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
One we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
That's a big-ass knife if it can go all the way through.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important, now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Oh, me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
Ooh, we're not looking, it's not looking too good. It's not looking too good.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure of what exactly happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed.
Very sus.
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Okay.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
Okay, I think I know what we have to do. We've already established the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means that the knife must thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
No? Alright. Back to this fucking... disguised dead body.
Shoot!
Disguised dead body? Alright.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, it's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro.
Yep.
That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
It doesn't matter, they weren't stabbed until after they were dead.
So, when we discovered the body, The knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Duh.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Then there would be more blood. And there would be blood on the ground.
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
We're smart.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward.
Yep.
They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
She's like, excuse me, but fuck you.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle cause an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
No.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
She's like, I know I'm stupid, but...
Go
I'm not
ahead,
that
Makoto.
stupid.
Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Is it... Oh, fragments. Fragments. That would be it.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right?
You sure did.
That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
I just noticed that in that
Then the
screenshot,
explosion
Togami's
was
looking
because of
at,
the Monokuma bomb.
at Hina's ass. I mean, I know he's supposed to be looking down at the Monokuma thing, but just the way it's positioned, it makes it look like he's looking at her ass.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate.
As he rightfully should, to be honest.
It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. Alright. I already know. It was the... Oh, we're only using this. Okay. I assume we have to absorb something.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Oh, I'm supposed
The
to...
explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Alright.
I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Okay, I know what I gotta do.
Oh,
I looked up the guide.
According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Am I wrong? Oh. I'm a dumbass. It's the other way around.
Shoot!
I'm so stupid at this shit.
Then, shall we continue the debate?
I don't absorb this
The
one.
victim's fatal injury has
I
yet
absorb
to be
the other
determined,
one, and then I
correct?
use that one
The
to
explosion
hit that one.
didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body. Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be...
Got him!
No, that's wrong.
I'm not failing this one.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
No.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Jesus Christ! Why do they all hate each other so much?
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Jesus Christ.
Seriously?
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Yep.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her.
I think I'm out of iced coffee. Put that there for now. It's on to the water. It's water time, my friends. Fresh.
And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
She has all the right, actually.
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
We gotta use the duct tape.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right?
Yeah.
It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Time back to Master! You have no right!
I think I did that wrong. I should have slowed down. Yeah.
The titanium arrow.
I
It
was
was
too
in the
slow with
dojo
that.
locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, 'cause in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too...
We gotcha.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
I mean,
Inside
I
the
wouldn't
dojo
call
locker,
the
we
duct
also
tape
found a
a
balled up
weapon.
wad of duct tape.
I'd call it a material used to create the weapon.
The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no.
That's
you absolutely
not true. We literally had a talk in the dojo.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter?
Oh, this is the part. Ooh. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Okay, this is the part, because, like, if I don't get this right, we get the bad end.
Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I have to present it because...
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle.
Oh, but here's the thing. She had no access to her room.
Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending
He's
her, aren't
simping,
you?
man. He's simping hard.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
Aww.
What?
What the fuck? That's so cute. She's like, I gotta protect you. Oh my god. She was protecting me. Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? Oh boy.
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait,
Oh my god.
I'm warning you. Don't make
This
this
one,
mistake.
this
I'm not the killer.
This trial always gives me major feels, man.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
It's because... Oh god, I have to absorb the bullet, don't I? Okay.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
Yeah, he would.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room.
Correct.
I think that was the right one.
Could I really have done that?
Yeah.
Those
We got it.
words you just
I've
spoke.
got it.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yes.
No, that's wrong.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
She's got a point.
Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
Oh, fuck. Oh god, this is where I have to decide. I mean, that's the last thing in the guide. Alright. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid it for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko. What can I do? What should I do? Alright, the Mastermind's trapped. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie? I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap? If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? Just decide right here and right now. And whether or not to expose her lie. Alright. I guess we're gonna have to let it go. We can't really pursue the lie, because that would end up getting us the bad end. Do we want the bad end? I don't know. I don't really want the bad end, so I'm gonna say we'll let it go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
No, it wasn't Byakuya.
But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you?
Monokuma's shut up.
Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Oh, fuck.
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
Oh, fuck.
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
We're fucked.
Voting time?
Overall, we got an A. 949 points. 60. Nice.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
He's like, oh fuck! Oh god!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well, I guess we're fucking dead. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone! Good job!
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey.
It makes perfect sense.
Shing.
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm gonna end it the same way.
Thrills,
It's
chills,
time for your
thrills.
heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... The fuck is that face, Kyoko? Like, what the fuck? She's like so angry. Kyoko?
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Fuck. This is some serious shit. This always gets me, man. This trial is so, like, weird. It does not make sense whatsoever. Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Well, fuck, here we go. Getting copyright claimed on YouTube. Oh, I hate this execution. It's like... this is the most terrible fucking way to die, man. Christ. Like, oh my god, oh no, I don't like it. Oh! I forgot about fucking Alter Ego in this. I knew he gets... I knew he got saved, but, like, I forgot it was Alter Ego that saved him. Uh-huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter Ego. Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it while he invaded my network. Damn it, all to hell, I don't believe this.
It
seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch. An itch. The stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe you didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit in a way that's even better? In a way that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Alright, well. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? What the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the Masterminds that's ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers all over the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. This is literally just the intro again. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are 2 things you need to attend in this school. 1, you have to already be attending high school. 2, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. Huh? What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? Wasn't any classroom I'd been in before. The heck is going on? Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in the vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. The heck kind of situation did I find myself in? But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck here till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. How do you know that, though? How do you know? I don't know. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First step was starting to look for a way out of there. Alright, well, first of all, do y'all remember the intro cutscene? We saw the rocket ship. There it is. That's like a rocket and a tank. I'd better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Not gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. That was pointless, too. The heck? He's drinking garbage water! How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. And as long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. Go to sleep. Yeah, he's like, you know what? I'm tired. He's like, you know what? I looked around for about 3 minutes on how to get out of here. I looked around for a couple more minutes for food and water. Couldn't find anything. I'm just gonna pass out in a pile of garbage. can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Crunch! Crunch is a good word. I like that word. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was. Hey!
It smells
She's got a cup noodle on her head. She's so cute. This place smells awful. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. Oh, her face actually kind of went pinker. That's so cute. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead, eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Phew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up, then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can't keep going forward is all about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Okay, let's talk to her again. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone?
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Oh, I can't offer you any other reason than that.
I'm truly sorry.
Okay, can I go through that again and actually...
However...
Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope Speak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope Speak?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did, once. Once? Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. Ooh. We getting the backstory now, boys! No memory? That's impossible! Amnesia? Then is it really true you lost your memory?
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I had come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all of that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the Mastermind. They stole my memory. Gosh, this is like some serious shit. But why would they want to do that? there's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the Mastermind's plans. So the Mastermind just stole them from you?
However,
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the Mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the Mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make it too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The Mastermind? One of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the Mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the Mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
And just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I know I've never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Okay, let's talk to her again, I guess? You said you had a reason for doing all that investigation on your own, right? So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability? What everyone should have known me for? I'm the ultimate detective. Ah! We figured it out! She's the ultimate detective! That makes sense, considering she's so good at fucking solving these mysteries. The ultimate detective?
correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who?
So,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Oh, that's some big ass reveal right there. What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's that's a tongue twister. Is the headmaster. Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
no matter what,
So,
What's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
however,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear. There's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that say that to protect him. I only said that what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had to have been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was a home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have had some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, the room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like, that part of the school, I mean? It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
so...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important, and really ominous. Okay, how the fuck do we get out of here?
However,
Of course, once I get to the second floor of the rooms, so I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you, either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the Mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The Mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope Speak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The Mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. And since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the Mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There's a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... Ah, so now we know why the Masked Crusader was in our fucking room. I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the God of Death. What? I can hear the God of Death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had suddenly a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant one was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the Mastermind, and in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all of this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the Mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. That's fucked up if true. It means the Mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The Mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you, because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the Mastermind is the one who's being cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the Mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. Another ultimate despair? Bruh. How many ultimate despairs are there? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about
That's right.
what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
It would seem...
That despicable group, whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair, and they're,
Indeed.
make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy. Well, we finished the chapter. Just on time. It's been 3 hours. I mean, I don't really want to go beyond 3 hours, so... Oh, we got the Dream Island rocket. That's interesting. Yes, of course I want to, save. Boy, it's gonna be really jarring when we we pretty much finished this game, like, in the next couple of, streams, basically. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Alright. I think that's a good place to end it. It was a lot of fun. We did an entire trial and we weren't even in the investigation. That was so fast. Wow. I'm just flabbergasted by that. So yeah, I think we should be alright. Anyways, thank you guys for showing up. I know there was only 1 or 2 of you, but it was still fun. I guess we'll continue this next week. I am off on Wednesday, but I like to kind of use Wednesdays as Stardew days. So I might stream earlier on Wednesday because I have the day off. Might do a day stream, and then maybe we could also do, like, what I could do is I could do a day stream of Stardew, and then I could do an evening stream of DanganRonpa, because that would be fun, right? Double stream. It would also, maybe it would also go towards my 8 hours that I need to stream or whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for showing up. It's nice. Thank you. And we'll see you next week maybe, or this week, I don't know. Bye.